Hey guys, Chad here from Take It or Leave It, here with a quick movie review for Evil Dead Rise. This film is a twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. So let's get right into the pros and the cons. First off, this film immediately gets exciting and gets right into the creeps, the action, and the gore, and I was immediately hooked. And there were many things that caught my eye and really got my attention in this film, but some of the technical elements really struck me, and I'm going to get into those first. There was great and authentic production and set design with this film, particularly with regards to the texture. I really felt like I could just stick to stuff in this apartment complex. I also thought the film had excellent lighting and shadow creation, and this really created a constantly eerie and dread-fueled tension in the air. In getting into some of the narrative and horror elements of the film, I just thought that there was very effective plot tools that really helped to set things in motion, in particular how they found the Necronomicon in the first place. I just thought, okay, this is a bit different, but no, it's cool, I'm with you. And I am so unbelievably happy to report that the jump scares in this were reasonable and well-crafted, self-respecting jump scares, and there's not too many of them. In fact, most of the scares were really just well-developed creeps and dread and suspense and assaulting horror and gore. And I really gotta hand it to the actors in this film. The performances were really fantastic. In particular, Elisa Sutherland's initial performance really set the tone for the rest of this film. Between the contorted faces that she made and the horrible things that she said and the physicality in her performance, she really brought something special to this film. And maybe the biggest twist in this film was that, holy shit, the children are actually legitimately likable. I mean, they're knuckleheads and they kind of annoy you every now and then, but they are actually likable, and I was rooting for them. I genuinely felt empathy for them in this film. And the deeper relationships that were very efficiently developed also helped contribute to this empathy that I felt for these characters, in particular the children. And without getting into any spoilers, I just gotta say that there was a little Lovecraft sprinkled toward the end of the film that was just icing on the cake. And lastly, for the pros, I thought this was a perfect blend of both the original Evil Dead trilogy and the 2013 remake, which I actually liked a lot. And in my sold-out screening of this film, it just felt like the entire audience was celebrating this film because there was something in it for everybody. And with all that being said, let's get to some of the issues that I had with the film. First off, although they are likable and there is good relationship development there, I thought that the oldest son and oldest daughter were a bit underdeveloped in terms of their own individual character development. And while the opening and closing sequences were very cool and effective, at the end of the day, they just seemed irrelevant and inconsequential. And for lack of a better description, some of the quote environment control where the environment actually gets involved was just a bit unbelievable, even for Evil Dead standards. It made the rules very ambiguous and unclear, in particular when some inanimate wires get involved, and then there's a scene that's very reminiscent of The Shining. To me, it's just kind of like, where'd that blood come from? And lastly, there were a few facepalm moments where the characters just were doing something kind of stupid, or they weren't doing something I thought they clearly should be doing, but it wasn't too bad. But at the end of the day, guys, I just thought that this was a perfect blend of all the Evil Dead movies that have come out prior to this one, and I really hope that they end up taking this concept and running with it in future films. And I'm going to give Evil Dead Rise an 8.8 out of 10. But that's just what I think. Take it or leave it. What do you guys think? Have you seen this movie? Are you big fans of the Evil Dead franchise? Did you like the 2013 remake? Let me know down in the comments section. Let's talk about it. And as usual, guys, thank you so much for checking out my video. I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, I'm Chad from Take It or Leave It, and I'll check you later.
Check you later. Check you later.
Hey, man, get off my case.
Oh, man. Chicks don't want to hear that shit.